Today's Bible story is titled, Noah Found Favor with God. Genesis 6 verses 1 to 8. Long ago, when the world was still young, the number of people on earth began to grow quickly. Families grew large, and the land was filled with life. Among them were many beautiful women, and some spiritual beings, known as the sons of God, took them as their wives. From these unions came strong and powerful children, mighty warriors, and men of fame. But as the world grew in number, it also grew in sin. People's thoughts and desires became dark. They no longer cared for what was good or right. Wickedness spread everywhere, filling the earth like a shadow. People turned away from God and followed their own selfish ways, hurting each other and living in sin. God saw all this evil. Day after day, he watched as people chose wickedness instead of righteousness. He looked deep into their hearts and saw that even their thoughts were filled with evil all the time. The Lord, who had lovingly created man and breathed life into him, was deeply hurt. It broke his heart to see his creation living in rebellion. He regretted making humans because they had turned away from him completely. God decided to bring judgment on the earth. He declared that he would shorten human life so that man would not live for many hundreds of years anymore. Their days would be limited to 120 years. Then he made a grave decision. He would wipe away every living thing on the earth, people, animals, birds, and all creatures that crawled on the ground. The world he had once called good was now filled with evil, and he would cleanse it. Yet in the midst of the wickedness, there was one man who was different. His name was Noah. Unlike the rest of the people, Noah loved God and lived righteously. He walked with God when no one else did. His heart was pure, and he chose to obey God rather than follow the world. Because of this, Noah found favor with the Lord. Though destruction was coming, God had a plan for Noah. Through him, God would bring hope to the world again. While others lived for themselves, Noah's faith and obedience shone like a light in the darkness, and that made all the difference. Imagine if Noah had not found favor in the eyes of God. The entire earth would have been completely destroyed, and there would have been no one left to continue humanity. God had already decided to wipe out every living creature because of the great evil on the earth. Genesis 6 verse 7. Without Noah's righteousness, there would have been no reason for God to save anyone. That means every person on earth would have perished in the flood. All animals and birds would have been wiped out with no one to care for or preserve them. The beautiful world God created would have been empty and lifeless, like a silent grave. Humanity would have ended, and God's plan to bring salvation through future generations, leading to Jesus Christ, would not have unfolded in the same way. But Noah's faithfulness gave God a reason to show mercy. Because Noah found favor, God preserved life through him, his family, and the animals in the ark. This shows us how one righteous person can change the future of the whole world. Moral lesson of the story: even in a world full of sin and evil, God sees those who are faithful to him. Noah's story shows us that righteousness matters, even if we are the only ones choosing to live for God. When we walk with him and do what is right, we find his favor and protection. This story reminds us to guard our hearts, choose obedience, and stay close to God no matter how dark the world becomes. Thanks for watching. I hope this story reminded you of how powerful faith and righteousness can be, even in a dark world. If this message blessed you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more inspiring Bible stories and lessons. See you in the next one, and may God's favor always be with you.